Hi there, and welcome to my first CPL cast. This is preseason week 2, and we're doing Group 25. I'm just waiting a bit for my co-caster, but we'll get started momentarily. So in the meantime, so if you're not aware, CPL is a league for sort of lower ranked players. I think it's just generally under 1900, and there's a whole lot of higher level players, either above that or around there that help with coaching. And at the moment, we're in the phase where we're busy like doing games for preseason. So the coaches will then based on like how players play, and they'll form teams, and everyone will be divided into tiers as well. There's 4 tiers, from tier 0, 1, 2, and 3. So tier 3 is sort of, I think it's sort of like below 1400 or 1350. Tier 2 is sort of 1350 up until I think 1600, and then tier 1 is up to 1800, and tier 0 is above that. And yeah, so yeah, let me just find the game. So yeah, so today's games is, as I said, group 25, and I don't know all the players. I know some of them, but they are Blobfish, Sky Cycle, Eskia Abram, X17, and Intact. And I've heard that these are around tier 2 level, so hope we should definitely have some interesting games, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hey, moderately troll. I've been told this is about tier 2. I think I have played Blobfish. Yeah, and he's around my level, and I'm pretty sure I'm tier 2. So yeah, as far as I know, this is tier 2. How far up or down is anyone's guess on that. But yeah, so this is going to be tier 2 games. Bug, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Hey, how's it? How are you doing? Hey, Bug.
I am doing great.
Awesome. Are you ready
Looking
to
forward
custom
to seeing
game?
this.
Yeah.
So who are the players here?
So,
I missed that little part there at the end.
Okay, so this one is the first one on the list. This is Blobfish and Sky Cycle, if I'm not mistaken. I guess we'll see when we in game. So yeah, I'll just go over the players in the group once again. It is Blobfish, Sky Cycle, Eskia, X17, and Intact. And I have been informed that these are going to be tier 2 games, or roughly tier 2 games. So we should be in for some excitement, I think.
Yeah, I hope so.
Cool. So
I think one of the
Yeah.
Go ahead.
no, go for it.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think each of the tiers has its own set of things that are exciting and cannot be as interesting as well.
Yeah,
Um,
agreed. Yeah,
I'm a
def
tier 3 player. I think for a tier 3, you tend to see a lot of
mm-hmm.
players that they go for strategies. They just, I think they just go for things sometimes, but also
Yeah,
they tend to hold back and
Yeah.
sit back a lot. And there's not much action, so there's
yeah,
a bit of both.
yeah, that can happen. Like I also think like tier three is definitely the level where you're really trying to focus on getting like one thing like down really well, and I guess usually that's macro, so it's very understandable, and it's a very good thing. So definitely when like for me, if I'm casting tier 3 games, I'm definitely going to be looking at the macro to see if just trying to get stuff out as much as possible, because that's generally how you win. And then tier 2 is like generally like a step beyond that, trying to make the most of your units a bit more and you have more APM, more time to be tricky and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Cool. So are you ready to get started?
Yes, sir. Let's get into this.
Yeah, let's go. The countdown begin. Okay. So this is Blobfish in the bottom left here we have Sky Cycle in the pink, and up in the top left we have Blobfish in the orange. And this is going to be a Zerg vs Zerg, and I did see the map is polypoid, so
yeah, neither of them are scouting first, so it looks like any one base play is going to go unscouted here.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'll see any immediate, 7 pool or 9, maybe a 9 pool, but I don't think we'll see any extremely aggressive plays here since they won't get a scout off and it is a 4-player map.
Yeah. So yeah, it's difficult to really do those hyper aggressive builds. Even just like 9 spool, even just like they're busy talking about the rest of the other group. Even just like 9 pool speed is kind of tricky. Sorry, Marichel. Yeah, week 1 was polypoid. Yeah, I thought these were week 2, so I guess this must be, maybe these are in fact the week 1 games. So
yeah, this would be week 1.
Yeah, okay. So it does look like Blobfish has gone for 9 pool before Overlord. So maybe trying to anticipate a 12 hatch. It's quite common on 4-player maps, and can definitely be punished for that. But let's see if that works out. And looks like Blobfish is putting the pool down on 11, or 12 actually. Yeah, so a standard 12 pool versus 9 pool, presumably speed. I think that's definitely.
He'll be ready in time.
Yeah,
even on a 2-player map, say Eclipse, by the time the Lings show up at the 12 pools, at the 12 pool players base, he'll have Lings ready in time. 12 pool is essentially the counter to 9 pool.
Yeah,
that's
definitely that's definitely the case. You do have that window where you have more Lings. Like generally, you want to pull some drones to defend against the 9 pool, especially if he goes directly to Blobfish's base. It can get a little bit hairy, but once that second hatchery kicks in, then things definitely start to turn around. So
we see now he goes for a 12 hatch on location. I'm sorry, 11 hatch on location.
Yeah.
Now adding in some Lings. So we'll see. I think he doesn't have Ling's speed, so there will be that advantage for Skycicle's Lings. So let's see how this goes.
Yeah, Ling speed is already almost halfway done though, so there will definitely be a timing window here with Lings. The first 4 Lings are out for Blobfish, next 2 are coming just in time. So let's see how much he can get down here. Oh, that's a pretty nice engage, but he decides to pull back.
Yeah.
So, Blobfish's Lings look a bit more damaged, so he has a bit of time now. Nicely pulls some drones. Ooh, he needs to keep yeah, he needs to keep an eye on those because he's going to take damage. I think he could have just fought there. He took a Sky Cycle took some damage there, so Blobfish could have definitely just kept on those links just a little bit longer. And I think this is going to start looking good for him. Although speed is now done, but I just think there's too many. He can body block this quite easily, and Hatchery's nowhere near like being killed, I think.
I just realized this. The overlay is switched.
Is this
for the
switch?
It's actually Blobfish that went for Ling speed.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Yeah. Actually, they both have it. Never mind.
Yeah, they both have it now. Yeah. So the 12 pull kicks in a bit later, but now that that's done, Blobfish is going to be aggressive and push down and hopefully pressure the mania. I don't. Ooh, that's a very ballsy hatchery. The Sunkens might also be a little out of position, so this is going to be, yeah, and it's not going to be in time either. So, wow, all these lings in the base. I don't think this is survivable. Yeah, they can. Oh, that's quite unfortunate. You really do need that SimCity, and you're sunken up well before the lings get there, so you can drill them. And yeah, there we see the GG.
Yeah, I think we just see a classic 12 pool countering 9 pool.
Yeah, that's.
I think 9 pool. I mean, this is just my personal opinion, but 9 pool, I see as a common build. But I mean, with the popularity of just going for a slightly more economic build, I feel as though 9 pool many times is just puts a player at a disadvantage.
Yeah, it is.
At least at the tier 3 level.
Yeah, you really have to like do so much with your first links, especially if against, excuse me, yeah, against like a 12 pull with speed first, because yeah, you really got to get in there, and we saw even though he had the lings went straight to his base, so it's still very difficult to actually get it done. So definitely props there to Blobfish for his build being on point and getting those lings out in time so that it didn't take too much damage. Cool, so the next game we have is going to be Eskia and Sky Cycle, and this one's going to be a ZVT.
Yeah, I did like though seeing the aggressive play coming out of Sky Cycle.
Yeah,
it's any player that goes for aggression, I think definitely deserves a shout out, whether or not it works out.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is definitely. I'd say it's the risk reward way to play, and I think some people just definitely prefer that. I like being a bit aggressive. I know, well, sometimes a bit too aggressive or not aggressive enough. It's a tough balancing act. Trying to read your opponent as well.
And I'm actually on the opposite end. I tend to be a very reserved player. I'll hold back and I'll just sort of slow push my way to victory most of the time, even though I'm Zerg. And I know when I first started with StarCraft, I actually was on the super aggressive side, and I was just like 9 pooling everybody. But I just eventually realized many times there are counters to it, and that were more economic, and so I sort of adjusted over time. But yeah, when I see these players going for 9 pools or even more aggressive than that, it's exciting.
It indeed is. So let's see what we have from Eskia and Sky Cycle in this game. This will be our second one. And yeah, this is in fact week 1. This is my mistake. I'm sorry for the incorrect. I fixed it on the overlay. So sorry for the stream name will still be wrong though. So this time in the top right we have Eskia, or aka Eskia King Prime, in the blue. And in the bottom left, in olive, it is Sky Cycle.
Eskia.
Eskia.
Is that do you know, is that Turkish? I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I haven't heard of, I haven't seen him around either on the ladder or in the Discords, so I really don't know. Wow, he's sitting at a very comfortable 430 APM. It's quite impressive. And Sky Cycle is taking it easy. I do like this mining from Sky Cycle, getting those drones on the top edge of the well, on the corners of the hatchery. It definitely makes them turn around a little bit faster.
Sky Cycle is not going for the Overlord on. It's going for the 9 pool.
Straight for the 9 pool. And we see the nice SimCity, or the fast mining supply depot there. Get those SCVs right onto those minerals.
Now against Terran, there is a little more play you can do with early Zergling, early Speedlings.
Yeah.
Once you get the Speedling upgrade, Terran bunkers are definitely a challenge, but Marines are nowhere near as good as Zerglings in the early game.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, you can delay that natural expansion for so long, and this is 9 pool speed, so this is going to be really aggressive. And
I suspect Eskia will not even scout this in time and will not have a bunker up unless he goes extremely.
But he is going. However, he is taking his gas, so he plans to probably open with a vulture or factory here. So this might end up working out just fine for him as long as he can hold his ramp. So he'll be able to really take care of those Zerglings. It's just a vulture, a couple of SCVs.
Tech as well. He will have Firebat tech as well, so he can probably, once he sees those lings, he can probably squeeze out a Firebat before.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Well, it depending on the academy timing. Because there goes the factory. So I think the academy will be quite delayed for that. So here we see the drone scout coming in. He is gonna catch a whiff of the factory, and if this was me, I would not be too happy with this. I want to see that command center going down as fast as possible if I'm doing a 9 pool speed. And we see the lings are almost all the way across the map, and the drones.
Ling speed is 75% done too.
Yeah, so
will he hold the ramp?
Get up the ramp. No, he's not going to be able to. These lings are going to definitely take out these Marines. So now this is going to be a battle. This is going to be a really tough to pull back from this. Now, the factory is now stopped.
Yeah, he's going
to have to try and get it down on top of the barracks. Yeah, nice SCV pull.
Trading with SCVs though, this is not good for the Zerg.
Yeah, he can. I mean, it's good. It's great if he kills a few. Definitely lots of interrupted mining time, but I think he needed to get a bit more done than that, especially with the speed investment. Does have some
nice
more
SCV
links.
Micro
Yeah, that was very nice. Keeping his Marines up the top there and having the 4 SCVs in front. And now he's just camping inside his little SimCity for now. He does see that there are more lings out on the map. For now, they're just chasing the SCV though. So in the meantime, we have seen a layer come down. So this looks, and more lings. But the really tough part is that there's only 5 drones left to mine minerals, and
and he hasn't even pulled the ones off gas, so I'm wondering if he's planning to go for a heavy gas tech such as lurkers.
I think
like
that's
off one base you don't have access to a second gas. I can see why you'd want to keep banking, but it's looking rough here for Sky Cycle.
We'll
see what these next round of speed
they come in.
do.
Gets them up, starting to get them up on top. But as you can see, that vulture is just killing so many, but he still manages to get all the Marines. Speed's not yet done. Speedlings can catch a vulture, but it's still tricky on both sides. Gonna try and get in some more SCV kills, but this vulture is really doing the work here. Manages to save that one.
feels bad when you have to go for their SCVs. Honestly, you think sometimes you're actually doing damage, but I mean, you can kill half the Terran SCVs. It doesn't really seem to matter that much. The way you really wreck them is just keep killing their units.
It only matters if you get to keep your drones, and judging by the 2 vultures headed down here, and the fact that there are more drones coming down, it does not look like he's gonna get to keep his drones. The natural hatchery is only just coming down now, but there are 0 combat units for Zerg out right now, and the spy does go down.
And usually against this build, you've already got your natural hatch up and a sunken is ready there at the ramp. So this is, unless we can see some miracle from Skysicle, I think this might be the end right here.
It's gonna be pretty difficult to come back with, and the Vulture Micro from Askia is pretty good as well. Some Lings do pop out, but with 3 Vultures now on the base, these Vultures can just, like, they don't even need to micro here, but he's doing a really good job taking out the Lings. And speed now done, that's... Okay, and... Yep. Another pretty quick game.
And we see, even if he had held that and gotten mutas out, there was already an engineering bay done and an armory over half done. So there was no way that mutas would have checkmated him.
It's just, you just don't have the economy if you cut your drones so much. You really need to do like critical damage with a 9-pull speed against Terran ore.
I would like to have seen. I think the opening, the strategy was very good from Skysicle, but once he ran into that wall of SCVs, you never really want to fight the enemies. Again, in a ZVZ, you can, but against Protoss and Terran, you really don't want to fight the enemy's workers with your early speed links. You want to try to get small pickoffs on workers one at a time, but as soon as they turn their attention to you, you can't fight them. Just pull back, kill off straggler units, straggler workers, just be a nuisance.
Like sit on top of the barracks.
Very APM intensive. It's very APM intensive though. So
definitely.
I can see easily forget. So I like seeing it, but it's very difficult to pull off early speedlings.
Cool. So our next game is going to be Blobfish and Askia. So we're going to have another ZVT, and keeping with our same first 3 players as well. And let's go.
Blobfish went for a slightly more economic opening. So I would guess here that Blobfish is also going to go for a 12 patch here.
I expect to see just a normal 12 hatch this time. I need to turn the turn rate down next time. So in the bottom right, in the orange Zerg, we have Blobfish, and cross map top left, our white Terran Askia King Prime.
And on cross spawns again, so if this definitely favors economic play. So I think we'll see I think we'll definitely see a 12 hatch coming down here.
It's definitely always going to be favorable for Zerg, I think. Not only do you have a much longer distance before the Marines get to your base, you can delay your Sunkens a bit longer, and you have more time to sort of pick off Marines with Mutalisks if you're going that way. But also, you'll get the second scout, which is fast enough, like almost always fast enough to get by the first Marine and check if they have a gas. Whereas if you get that third scout, it's really hard to actually get in their base sometimes if you scout at the standard sort of 12 hatch timing.
And it's always as the Zerg feels, it's scary when you don't know what the Terran is doing. There's many routes the Terran can take when they're sitting there, and you have to think, oh man, are they going to have 2 port cloaked wraiths? Are they going to have a Goliath, one base Goliath push? Are they?
Yeah,
There's so many
exactly.
ways they can work even two base.
Yeah.
Are they gonna do some drop
Yeah.
play? There's so many
Mm-hmm.
options they're very difficult to deal with, and so committing to any one strategy as the Zerg feels bad if you realize that your composition wasn't the optimal.
Yep. But
But
here we
getting early gas tier for Askia, so it looks like he likes this sort of. I don't really know what the last build was evolving into, but probably Goliath.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was probably going to be the typical like mech follow-up. Yeah, 2-fact Goliath, or sort of off of a factory expand. But we do see that Blobfish has gotten his pool first, which is done. But but unlike Sky Cycle, he's gotten his hatchery right away. Although he's made 4 lings so far. So I didn't see the exact time, but this looks more like an overpool.
Looks like 2 attributed timing almost. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks more like overpool than like the 9 pool that Sky Cycle went to. But here the lings do come out. The drone,
like early pool.
It does seem that he knows that. I guess he hasn't seen a command center down here yet, or maybe he saw the SCV, but he knows where Askia is, and is heading his overlord right there. And he'll see what he's going to be up to in just a moment.
Unfortunately for Blobfish, he is not going for speed, Zergling speed. Sometimes with the 2-hatch muta build, you can go for speedling and try to delay the Terran natural, but I mean, we see here that the factory over halfway done. That's I mean, if he were to attempt, never mind, he is getting Zergling speed. So
yeah, so he's getting it now. So yeah, so he did go for lair first, and yeah, so this is pretty standard with like just very fast lings. So he's gonna so yeah, Askia is gonna be forced to pull a couple SCVs just to hold the ramp. But I think because he was never intending to go for this. He wasn't prepared, like banking minerals for his command center. He's got his factory down, the vulture out. It's way less effective if you go with a pool first build against this kind of opening from Terran.
And not seeing what is on the top of that ramp. That usually to me screams factory play. A bio player should already be pushing out. Many times, not always, and that's the scary thing. But I've been fooled a few times. Sometimes, whenever I thought I was up against mech, and then suddenly a huge bioforce comes out. But usually, when you see this, you can prepare. You probably should go ahead and throw down. Usually, around the timing you want your natural hatch comes down, you want to have a sunken starting. To try and stop. And here we go. He is going for that.
Yeah, so he does have a link. So there he does get to see the vulture. So he does know it's out. And he will know that it's some kind of gas opening, and some kind of gas opening from Terrans. Just on the fact that there's no command center here. Although it can be tricky because if you go for like pull first, and then they do this kind of thing where they build their command center in main and then float it over. They could still be doing a bio build, but you kind of still have to prepare for a mech build because you don't really know.
I like one of the weird things. I think he's reading this very well. He's thrown down a fire as usual according to his build, but I think he senses a mech play, so he's already thrown down his hydro skin in a great position on the front to just prevent the vultures from running by.
Yeah, that is a nice little SimCity there.
Yeah, so he's reading this very well. I like that, even though he's slightly behind, I would say. He's definitely in it.
But that's it. That's it. He's not that. He's less behind because he's delayed this natural expansion for so long now. I mean,
and he's getting his third now. It looks like so. This is as long as this is not punished, he'll be in a great position. Like this is actually very early timing against a mech to get a third. So. Usually you cannot secure a third against mech player until you have a number of hydras out that can push safely. So let's see if he can defend it. If so, he'll be in a great position.
Sorry for the overlay, guys. I had the overlay on the whole time. Oh no. Practice makes perfect. Sorry for the overlay, guys. That was really dumb of me.
Alright, so we got Engineering Bay on the way for Askia, so he definitely senses 3 factories. I didn't notice that. So
Oh wow. Okay, so 3 factories.
I think he's definitely ramping up for a large push here off of 2 bases.
We do see a lot of vultures have been produced, and we'll have to So it looks like Blobfish hasn't actually made any Mutalisks yet from his spire, which he made initially, and he's just continuing to make Hydras. So I don't know.
It would have been nice to see them. He could have gotten damage done, I think, but I think maybe he's afraid of a heavy ground push with Goliaths and is just wanting to muscle out lots of. I mean, he's going full on Zerg versus Protoss. He's getting the Overlord speed upgrade. He's getting ready to clear mines. I think he's in a good position. He's got his 4th hatch in base, so he's in a decently good place. He'll have a strong economy. Assuming he's able to get that 3rd base up and running. Yeah, the hatch is just now finishing, so he's committed.
So here we see with Hydra speed done is pushing out to just chase those vultures away. Great move. His drone count is actually really good compared to Iskia's 24 drones to 29 SCVs. Iskia maybe just lacking on that SCV production, but he does have quite a sizable force here. Maybe not enough to like really push out.
A sniping squad coming out here. Two Scourge and a Mutalisk going for the base, probably just to scout, see what they can find out. And this is really good. I mean, it's a low commitment from.
Yes, and now that
the vessel.
Exactly. Yeah. So it is very low commitment. And it also does force Skia to start making turrets, because you see one muta, you have to respect the possibility for more. But meanwhile, we do see 7 more Hydralisks in production. Range about halfway done, so that's on the way. He's getting his drones up quite nicely here. How's the 3rd base doing? Not quite mining there yet, but I'm sure he will soon. Nice to see the sunken there. It's really annoying when you move out and the vultures just come in and kill everything and there's nothing you can do about it. As for army size, he's got about 12 Hydras with more on the way. So he's gonna have about 1.5 to 2 control groups. Yeah, taking out that vulture.
Interesting SimCity coming out from Iskia at the front of his base. He's got a turret and he's putting down supply depots very far out. So it looks like he's wanting to set this up. It's almost like a StarCraft 2 SimCity, where he builds fairly far out and try to use it as a wall to stop the Zerg army.
Oh yeah, because I think it'll be much easier to defend there than like right in the choke, and if you have the room to get it out, then you should do so. But that's gonna there's definitely enough here to hold this off. This amount of Hydras will not get it done.
Yeah, I don't like the idea to push up and break, but I do like the idea of having the Hydras here just to keep an eye on the Terran army. Maybe he should scoot them up a little bit to the side to see Vulture run by, but this gives him the opportunity. I was almost about to suggest this earlier. Oh no, he's about to
watch out for the mines. No, not like this. Oh man.
Oh man, he has the Overlord speed upgrade too, so there's really no reason not to have a Overlord. But that's all right. He's still in a great position. He's up to 6 hatches, and he doesn't quite have saturation on his 3rd base though, and that's what I was starting to say. I think he
here they come now.
Definitely should get out on the map, get some so he can feel safe enough to drone up. He needs that 3rd gas.
Yeah, well, what he is doing for now is he's definitely stopping Iskia from taking this mineral only for free. So he's gonna have to like slow push his way up to like get this mineral only, although he probably will get it eventually. Although it looks like his wall is extending to this ramp over here that goes up to the 12 o'clock 3rd with the gas, which is actually what he really wants, to be honest, for a mech play. But it looks like he's about to start moving out now. A bit. Inching forward with those tanks. But
if I were Zerg seeing this, I would probably want to throw down a 4th base. while I'm seeing this here, the Terran's not ready to fight yet. You can put it down and try to just and you can, even if you lose it, it's okay. Like, you can pull back, but you really want to start setting up for that. Against Zerg mech, the way you win many times is by having just more. Yeah, it's very difficult. Whereas against bio, you can oftentimes win with positioning and good control, but against mech, you just need to have more. So getting that 4th base down, looks like he's going for that actually at the bottom left.
He will.
The Spider Mine will slow this down, so he'll have to bring an Overlord over. But I like the idea here.
Sniping off the turret. I don't know if it was with 4 Hydras, but yeah. So it looks like he will be able. The skier will be able to take the mineral only, and he's gonna go for that one first. We do see the 4th base coming down at the mineral, at Blobfish's mineral only, as well. So he's definitely gonna be ramping up his economy in a little bit. But what I'm worried about
these eggs.
Oh,
sorry to interrupt you there, but if you look at his go look at his eggs, look at
13 queens. Yes, nice.
13
I was
queens.
just about to say that he's gonna need some more tech, because you can have 5,000 Hydras. Like, it's not gonna beat 100 tanks or 80 tanks. You need more than that, because they're just like, especially if all those tanks are together. So you need something in addition to the Hydras, and queens are definitely I guess like the meta choice right now, and they definitely can work. Well, they definitely do work. I mean, they're just their value in breaking that one position or that one push, just to give you that room as a Zerg player to just take over the whole map, which you really end up almost having to do. I think it's quite easy for Terran to like sort of force the Zerg players into those positions where it's like, well, if you're not able to macro the whole map, or at least half of it, then I'm just gonna leapfrog my tanks all the way into your base, and everything of yours is gonna die. That's kind of, at least that's how it feels to me sometimes.
Yeah, and I think are a heavily underused unit in the game for the Zerg. Pretty much in any of the matchups. I mean, Zerg versus Zerg, you usually don't have the resources to spare on them, but in basically any of the matchups, either snare or spawn broodling is quite effective.
See, nice little run by a couple, pretty much all the drones at this 4th base got taken out. I think it was about 4 or 5. Definitely worth it for 3 vultures. So that'll slow down the economy just a bit there. We do see 2 more hatcheries coming down, and quite a bit of minerals banked up as well. So Blobfish,
I like to see these hatches though. I mean, nothing feels sadder than watching a Zerg bank thousands of minerals, not have the hatches to produce off of them. So I like to see all these macro hatches coming down. Yeah,
definitely gonna need those.
So it's Gia putting down his 4th CC on site at the gas location up top. So he's also going to be in a very, very strong economic position. So it looks like we're going to be in for a long one here.
That's definitely
5 tech probably.
Yeah, I do think though that one of these players is going to need to start getting something done at some point. Because when a mech army just maxes out with like no punishment, wow, look at these tanks, and it looks like a skier's getting ready to make the first move here, or the first big move, unsieging all those tanks.
Blobfish did research drop just a minute ago, and we see a group of 5 overlords moving up through the map, and there's queens, so he's definitely looking to set up some operations here at the bottom.
Yeah, so it looks like the time for action has come, and we see full control group of queens heading up into the top left. There's actually not that many Goliaths, and the Overlord does have vision over these tanks, so cloning all these should not be too difficult for Blobfish. The biggest trouble with Queen in this situation is 1, getting vision, and 2, when there's just way too many Goliaths that your queens just don't even get there. You have to time it perfectly. So And there we
nice.
go.
Loading.
3, 4,
Oh, this is
5.
awesome loading.
5 broodlings. We see some splash going onto the tanks as well. So that was okay. So pretty much resetting the tanks here. Some hydras down here out of action. They do kind of need to get up there and like really capitalize. But that was really great for Blobfish, especially. Yeah.
Yeah, he literally just lost one queen and then maybe control group of hydras.
Yeah.
And he killed almost all of the tanks.
Yeah.
For Skia, so.
And so we do see much more hydras coming. Back. Wow. And he's just gonna drop straight over here, right onto the high ground. And this is wow. Yeah, this is a very nice attack.
He's got several tanks back though, and a good wall. I don't think that Zerg can actually break the position, but if he can maybe try and snipe the CC.
So well, there's more reinforcing hydras coming in, and the queens are coming back, but they definitely don't have energy just yet. But if these hydras can just maybe maybe if he focused on the command center. But it looks like they're struggling with the range on the Goliaths, and like this one tank, just 10 kills on this one tank that was parked at the back here.
And you can see the difficulty Zerg has when going against Terran mech.
Yeah, it's
even
so
with just
hard.
2 siege tanks, one tank was kind of glitching out at the back, so really there was only 2 tanks firing for most of that time. But just with 2 siege tanks and about 10 Goliaths or so, he was able to hold off maybe 2 or 3 control groups of hydras.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to push in, so I like that drop play, but it looks like he's supposed to lose some hydras for free up top though. He is getting a scout though in confirmation. Defended position there, so I think we'll see. Blobfish, if he can just pull back, regroup. We see he's adding 3 more hatches at the bottom left. If he can just pull back, regroup, restock his army, he can go for it again. He made a great trade with those queens. The drop play didn't really give him anything strategically, so I feel like just get the energy up on the queens.
Well, I think it helped. I think it did help a lot to like break the last bit of tanks on the high ground and just stop that command center for a little bit. But Blobfish has managed to get a 5th base up at the moment. Still needs to send some drones there, but in total another 4 hatcheries coming down. You really can't send. Sending hydras like this though. This is exactly what Terran wants a Zerg to do. Does manage to.
Queens, so that's a little unfortunate for him. So
we'll
see how
a lot of Goliaths out now as well. Yeah, that's
at this
really
point,
starts
I think
getting
you have
tough.
to go just huge, massive, Hydra. Just hold down the H key.
Yep.
And he has bank too. Blobfish has 2k minerals, almost 2k gas. He can add. There should be no unused larvae. I see some here at his 4th base, but he can just pump all his hatcheries non-stop.
Yeah, he should be seen. Yeah, he does seem coming down. Skia does know that the push is coming down towards the bottom left, so he is starting to send quite a few hydras around for a flank. I don't know if he will be able to like really get it down, but he's actually going to run right past the army and head for a counter attack. And we see the position in front of the natural. Yeah. So we see at the natural is actually not that many, so you can run forward and snipe this tank. We can actually hold back the army quite a bit. He just needs to make sure that he gets in. Yeah, this is definitely another way that you can. Oh wow!
Yeah,
didn't
even
even kill
all those hydras, and that's a lot of hydras, but he pulled the Terran army back. He was not
all
ready
the way back to natural.
And with his production, he can replace those hydras and more. He'll have an army. At least he should be able to have an army in time to contest what Terran was throwing at him. So good play to go for that base trade against Terran mech. That's one of the best ways to deal with them is abuse their lack of mobility.
Yeah,
and it's again, we see it coming down here, but it's he's managed to. Well, looking at the supply, he actually is about where he was when that attack
Yeah.
coming through. So maybe not capitalizing as well as he could have with on the spacing bot.
Skier getting dangerously close to being maxed out, and that's when Terran or any player in StarCraft really just starts to like really just shove their army in your face, and it gets really scary, especially if that maxed army is tanks and Goliaths.
Now we see he's opting to go for Ultra Tech on Terran, so we'll see what. Yeah, we'll see. He doesn't have a Nidus, so he's this base here with 4 hatches and fresh patches of minerals and gas going to go down.
Yeah, he's definitely going to lose this base, but we do see a ton of Zerg army going straight across the map to the natural. We do see there are some reinforcements, but this is a much bigger attack. It's about the same defending here at the natural, but we have way more Zerg coming in this time. The Goliaths are doing a great job of buffering up for those tanks. The tanks.
He's got cracklings now.
Okay, but now that he's gotten up onto the tanks, I think now would be a great time to just focus down this third. But he's going to clear off all the infrastructure in the front here. Yeah, and we do see more. These Hydras that got sent to 9 o'clock earlier are now coming up from the back. They're going to take care of the third. We see a queen coming in, and massive damage being done. So now,
yeah, I think as Zerg, you've got to push into the Terran main right now. Get on top of those factories.
Yeah, you're never going to get up this ramp, and this is great. Just pulling all this army together and fighting on the high ground against these Goliaths. This is definitely what he needs.
He had to bring tanks with him.
Oh, did he leave the tanks behind?
Tanks at the bottom left. He didn't bring the tanks up. It was just it was unsupported Goliaths. Wow.
That was a great counterattack and a very exciting game.
A little unfortunate for Skia there. I think he was actually in a commanding position of that game.
Yeah, he was.
The power of the siege tank wasn't being utilized there, and he wasn't even. I didn't even see new tanks coming out during that attack. I feel like he could have held that, but wow, great game still.
That was a very exciting game to watch. So, and our next game is gonna be Blobfish again against X17. And this is gonna be a ZVP.
I do appreciate, I'm not sure what the method is exactly for spreading people in the groups, but I've noticed there often tends to be a pretty good balance in each group among the races. So that's something I like to see.
Yeah.
I think most newer players feel frustrated by all mirror matchups. Occasionally, you get a group with all Zergs or all Terran. Right? It can be a little bit. It's nice to have the variety when you're just learning.
Yeah. I think the organizers have definitely done a great job, like putting people into the groups, and there were so many. There's like over 240 people signed up. So. Yeah, definitely props to them for getting this all sorted and making sure that we all have good groups and good games to play in all the different matchups.
Well, I'm interested to see what X17 brings to the table.
Yeah, this is going to be our first Protoss game of the day.
We've seen some great macro play out of Blobfish, so. Be interested to see how X17's take on things goes here.
Yeah. Cool. So let's get right into it. So in the bottom right, in the orange once again, we have Blobfish. And in the top left, as Protoss, we have X17. Oh, shame.
I'm guessing they had a Discord conversation right before this.
Yeah.
Probably something we're missing. Again, sometimes a lot of players coming into this, maybe this is their first time playing like a league or whatnot. I think they come with a lot of new player jitters. They feel almost a little bit of performance anxiety, I suppose. And I know how this is. I mean, I'm a musician. I performed a lot for many thousands of people,
Oh,
and
wow.
you know, I still get performance anxiety when I'm playing StarCraft. It's totally different than some other things that you might run into. You may just be sitting. You're probably just sitting at home. No one else is watching you, but and maybe no one will even watch the game. But there's this just level of I need to perform well that sometimes really get to you when you're trying to open up and you can miss some of your early timings. So
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially if you're not used to like playing organized games as opposed to sort of just on the ladder or wherever.
But not too much going wrong for X17 as far as I can tell. He's gotten his scout out right after pylon. He's going for a gate in main. So this looks like we may go for a
yeah, it'll be
either
a 2-gate or a 1-gate tech. And
going for in main like this, I would like to see a second gate just because you're yielding control of your natural area temporarily to Zerg. If you were to go mass speedling, so he doesn't have much to fall back on economically.
Yeah.
Unless his zealots can get a lot done. Blobfish does like to go for that economic play. So
yeah, his macro was pretty good in the last game, and you know not just the production, but actually getting all those hydras together. That was quite impressive. Quite impressive.
Yeah, I think his understanding of not just you know he doesn't just know the builds, but he knows how to use them. I think he, you know, for a tier 3 player, he showed very good.
I think he might be more.
Oh, we're in tier 2. I'm sorry, tier 2. Yeah.
We should be tier 2. Yeah. So we do see 6 Zerglings coming straight across the map. He knows where he is by now. Scouted every other location. We see a zealot near the ramp, but he's not on the ramp, and this is gonna let him slip through. But there he goes. The second zealot will definitely get there in time, and yeah. So we do see two gateways are now up. We did see the second pylon go down before the second gateway. I'm not sure. I mean, he'll have a few zealots, but he should be fine. Oh no!
I was just about to say you never want to try to break zealots on the ramp with your first link, but a little bit of. This is the great thing about tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, maybe even tier 1. I haven't watched too much of them yet, but you get to see some stuff like that happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he can get done. I mean, the zealots are still very strong. He has managed to get 2 probe kills. Biggest thing though is he gets a scout on what Protoss is doing.
Yeah, he sees exactly what's up. He's decided to just take the 3rd base immediately as well. There's still a probe in the base to go scout, and it looks like we're gonna see.
His 2-gate still. He scouted it and he's getting his 3rd base, which is a good call, I believe, because he's forced the zealots to stay at home. But he needs to keep his supply free, be aware of when the zealots move out, and be ready to hold it because you know once he gets a group of 5 or more zealots, it can actually just kill the Zerg if he's not ready.
With the thing about that though is that Zergling speed is halfway done, and okay, we don't see more Zerglings coming out just yet. So maybe supply blocked a little. Looks like it might be supply blocked a little bit. Yeah, I don't see an overload in production either. Oh shame.
X17.
Oh man. Shame.
That was unfortunate. Yeah. Okay. So X17, if you're watching this, man, he had 8 zealots. I mean, just one zealot could actually chase those around. If he just walked those to the other side of the map, he forces so much of response from Zerg.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Either he can actually kill the Zerg if he wasn't looking, but at the very least, the zealots can just walk by into the mineral line and just deny mining, maybe even kill a hatchery, force a lot of lings. I mean, 7 zealots early is very strong, and that's part of the reason 2-gate plays become so popular. So
yeah, I get how it feels. Sometimes like you just have like those ladder days. You just Blizzard just decides to send you players that are like 200-300 MMR above you, and it just feels so. It can feel like depressing. So I really do feel for like when you just like don't feel like it, and I guess maybe he just didn't have a good day for StarCraft. But yeah, but you definitely want to like look at what you can do in those situations.
Well, a little unfortunate there. I think that could have been. I think that was definitely still a good Protoss game. I don't think he was really that behind at all. So,
yeah, he definitely had the means to. I mean, he killed most of the Zerglings. I think there was like three left. So if you just leave,
2 left in the main. Yeah.
Yeah.
One
So
Zealot can zone them off.
Yeah. I guess if you're not used to like defending in your main and putting an attack, it can be really daunting to try and do something like that.
Another thing to Protoss players that a tip is when you see that, it's very annoying how the speedlings when they have speed upgrade, they can just dart in, hit something as soon as you try to attack them, they just run away, and it can be very frustrating. But again, sending those Zealots to the other side, most Zerg players you run into at this level will not be able to micro things on both sides.
Yeah, it is really difficult.
It's much easier to control Zealots than it is Zerglings. So, just keeping your Zealots together as a bunch, sending them to one location, probably. Splitting them's okay as well, but force the Zerg just to pay attention elsewhere. You can clean up the Zerglings in your main. So, a little unfortunate there, but it happens.
So, our next game is going to be Intact versus Blobfish. So, this will be our first game from Intact. And I didn't get to. I am not sure. I didn't. Wait, let me just remake quickly and double check. Terran.
Terran, okay.
So another ZBT.
Well, we've seen a lot of stylistic variation here. We saw Blobfish. He likes to go for the economic play. We saw. Our other Zerg, he liked to go for his 9 pools.
Sky Cycle, yeah.
Sky Cycle, yeah. And then when we saw Eskia, he prefers going for his mech plays. So I'm wondering what we'll see from this Terran player.
Yeah, should be very interesting. And we'll see if Blobfish decides to go open with pool first against Terran again, or if he's gonna go for hatch first rather, and perhaps and also to see if he will pull out some Mutalisks this game.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I didn't catch the build that he went for. Did he go for an overpool against?
I think so. The lings didn't look fast enough for. I didn't see it as he made his pool, but the lings definitely didn't look fast enough, and the hatchery looked a bit too fast for 9 pool before Overlord, to me anyway.
It can be a little difficult going for speed against Terran, especially with the way they sometimes when they just hold the ramp like that, and you've gone for a faster tech and it just doesn't work. So
yeah,
I mean, I guess that's why we oftentimes see 12 hatch coming out, just because you want to try to get as many units as possible, and just it's so difficult to get damage done early many times.
Yeah. Cool.
Oftentimes, really only like a 7 can actually get slings in fast enough to guarantee some damage. But anyways, don't want to hold up.
Let's go with the game.
Let's get to this next game.
So in the top right, in the orange, once again, he seems to really like his orange, we have Blobfish. And in the bottom left, we have our red Terran, Intact.
3.14. Not sure what that was, but okay.
Yeah.
Nice to see some good manners coming out from our players. I may refer to him as Intacto,
Intact
based
O.
off his name here.
Yeah. Oh, Intacto 1.
Hard with my fins. Oh, no.
Setups. That might be even harder with. Some friendly banter between our players.
So we see this is also still polyploid. Okay, so he will be able to. He will not be first scouting though. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, thanks for the
So we
heads up.
see
and
a display.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just replying to the chat. I could have sworn I changed the overlay, but somehow like it popped back on. So yeah, I should redo the hotkeys for that. Maybe make it 2 separate buttons. So we have.
Well, but going out to 12, so no, there will not be an 11 pool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, this will definitely be 12 hatch.
Going 12 hatch, yeah.
Cool. So we see
Okay.
this standard build from Blobfish, and looks like our pretty normal barracks timing here as well.
So
looks like we have yeah. I was saying it looks like we have the mine games happening here. And it, actually, yeah, not only is it, yeah, it's cross spawns again, and it's also looks like it's going to be a 3 hatch build from Blobfish, because we don't see the gas down yet.
Yeah.
And Intact is about to come scout this. So let's see how he decides to respond. The reason, I mean, the whole reason why 3 hatch went out of favor was because of the +1 5 racks build. So we'll see if Intact can pull that one off. Guess, oh, that's a nice. Oh, although
not the worst though, because he's already got his hatch finished.
Yeah.
At the natural, he can just take his gas there.
Yeah.
I'm throwing in a little bit of a sneaky 3rd hatch right there. I mean, I don't know if he's trying to disguise that, but
I think I think it's just like an easy place to just like macro from. It's quite close to the ramp. It's quite close to the main. So if you want, you can rally to your main minerals very quickly. You can rally to your natural minerals pretty fast. And it's just kind of out of the way. You can still like sneak attack there. I mean, if you really want to like try and maximize your creep and hide your tech, then I guess you'd put it sort of on this side over here, and you still have a nice rally to your natural choke. So we do see the gas is down, but Blobfish correctly takes his gas at the natural and goes to mine there. Delays it a little bit, but I think, yeah, I personally like to see this kind of thing. When I see that, it really just feels like Terran's kind of wasting minerals that could be spent on getting a command center down faster or a bunker. Even though he does get most of it back, he's still slowing your build.
Blobfish. He's not able to scout up the ramp, so he immediately puts down a sunken near this ramp. He will be safe from vulture run-bys into his main, assuming he's on top of the control.
Yeah, with 3 hatch you can almost always do this because you have more drones faster than with 2 hatch. Where putting like when you put a sunken down before your meters are out as 2 hatch, it really doesn't feel good.
No, but
3 hatch,
if you don't know what Terran's doing, it's still better than losing half your drones to
always is, yes.
vulture. But we don't see that neck coming out of Intact. He's going for he's already putting down 4 barracks, and an academy's completed. So
yeah, stim is on the way. So this is like a 4 racks with stim. We don't see an engineering bay down yet. So it's not that classic +1 timing, but more of that old school style of getting a bit more. Oh, getting
interesting play from Blobfish here, waiting, not showing his tech the time the scans came down. I don't know if that was an intentional delay, but he did not show. He had neither Hydrodin nor Spire. So Intact still doesn't know what he's supposed to build exactly to counter this. So I imagine he's probably just going to throw down a safety eBay and some turrets here soon.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's probably going to have to do that. Or just, I suppose, wing it and say, well, I didn't see a Spire, so I'm not going to put down turrets. But we do see that the...
Okay. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we do see that the den did come down, was building after the lair, so the lurker aspect
he's read this correctly.
Yeah.
Huh. This is interesting. I don't know what he saw exactly, but he must have seen bio. He needs to throw down another sunken, I think. He doesn't have the link count, I believe, to... I mean, there's no medic support. He's probably okay.
No, there are 2 medics. So generally,
yeah, I think he needs... Okay, he's responding. He's throwing down.
Yeah, I think this is 1 too many. Like...
Yeah, he shouldn't need that many. You only need like 1 per...
Yeah, with the link... Yeah, 1 per medic.
Per medic, yeah.
Yeah. This does have some hydras,
but you can't count that. You just want to be safe.
Yeah.
It's
but
totally
this is
fine.
more than... These links should be able to clean this up. So, wow, he manages to get away there with some Marines. But so now,
Stim is good, man.
Yeah, Stim is very good. And we see the 3rd going down at a natural expansion. Very, very sneaky.
Yeah, it's an interesting location, too. Yeah. Usually, Terran's going to be searching for that 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock. So he's going to be a little slower catching this one. It could probably have some defenses in place in time. The only thing I don't like about this position is it's very hard. He's going for lurkers. He's ceding map control to the Terran, and so he's taking a location with no ramp. So there's definitely a lot more micro potential for the Terran against lurkers going into this base. So only weakness with that place that I see. Many times you'll see Zergs go for the main, and then they can just position lurkers on the ramp. So, but he should still be okay. We'll just have to see what comes out.
Yeah, so he Intact did lose quite a few Marines there, which sort of slowed down his ability to actually push, and he really is going to need vessels before he can push safely once the lurkers, which they are out. Especially you have to always be so terrified of hold position lurkers, and Blobfish got a nice army of Lings out as well, so he has a lot to buffer against those lurkers. Oh, but not if he loses all of them. So he's gonna pull back. Nice burrow there. Oh, baits in a couple Marines into the spines there. And at this point, this is
buying time. He's keeping the Terran army occupied in the middle of the map. So but this is buying time for him to get that 3rd gas up at the 11 o'clock.
So here we see him.
All the scans missed.
Yeah, they all did. So he's looking for the 3rd, just not expecting it right at the natural. And lurkers are morphing there already. This choke is small enough that if you put 3 lurkers down like that, you can't really get a proper concave around these lurkers.
Yeah, I think his lurkers, I mean, he's holding that position right there. I think he'll want to try to reposition them again. Intact is holding the high ground though, so we'll see. They're still denying the location, so it'll be fine. But we'll want to get some more lurkers out in the field soon. He's opting to go Scourge though, so I think he's sensing and he's getting Hive. So rather than building a giant lurker army, it looks like he's opting to get Defilers out.
Ooh, so a lot of Scourge coming out. But yeah, we do see Hive is about to be done. We see 2 evolution chambers up, so neither seem to be upgrading. Does he have his armor yet? No, he doesn't have armor yet, so he's probably going to start his double upgrade soon. More hatcheries coming down. And meanwhile for Terran, 5 barracks. Science facility is done. First vessel is about halfway. And oh no, that's the 2nd vessel, so we see a big push coming out now. This is a lot of Marine medic, like you can't just hold this with...
Oh, I just randomly stemmed.
Oh no,
Oh, the Scourge glitching out.
Ooh, so yeah, but Intact doing a nice job taking out those lurkers. He lost a few Marines, but the bulk of his army is still very much intact.
So Blobfish leaving some Overlords here at the front. He'll need to pull those back soon. I know it's oftentimes you're rallying your units to the front and get a bunch of Overlords there, but when they're slow against a Terran, you do not want to lose those. That can really just kill you right there. If those Overlords die, he will be supply blocked.
Oh, I don't like just running into this just yet. Although he might, I guess he sees all the lurkers there, all the lurker eggs busy morphing. Once you get him and manages to do so before those lurkers can morph and burrow. And here they come now. Oh, they're glitching out a bit on themselves, but ooh, that's some nice spines there. But more coming in from the main, and
yeah, it looks like he'll just. No, maybe not. He lost the sunken. I think he's dead.
So that's. Wow. Okay. Wow, that was very, very nicely played by Intact. Busting through, like recognizing the timing, seeing those lurker eggs were still morphing. There's only 3 burrowed, and managing to take them out. So that Blobfish couldn't get all those lurkers down at once, and now then streaming down to the deaths into the natural, and the Defiler Mound is down here too. I mean, that's really what you absolutely need to fight off Terran at this stage of the game. You need Dark Swarm.
Oh, let's see. He will have 3 Defilers hatching here. I think 1 in the main. Yeah, 1 in the main. So
okay.
He has Consume. Let's see if he's able to.
Yeah, Consume should be done. Oh no, get back. You need to wait for Zerglings. And there goes the Irradiate. So, must say, good job on Intact for saving those Irradiates. Not just going ham on the lurkers. There's too many lurkers for the Irradiates to really matter.
Incredibly good trade with these Zerglings.
Yeah.
Way better than normally you would against the Terran army, but I don't know, he's on top of the Zerg production now. There's not really getting science vessel. I mean, he's not really out of
vessels
this,
are down, but it's going to be difficult to clear this up because the Lings are just going to be coming out sort of 3-4 at a time, and it's just not enough, it seems.
And we see some, like a Desperation Queen, I don't know.
Yeah.
Without a Nidus network, I see he's starting one, but he knows it's over.
And GG.
A little unfortunate. I mean, I think he was a little late on that Nidus network. If so, he might have been able to hold that still.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if he just didn't have the resources, but only having 3 lurkers at the front like that was, and they were very far out and exposed.
I think that was
you usually want
fine.
to keep them a little further closer to your sunken, so you have a bit of a meat shield for your lurkers.
Yeah, I think, they maybe could have been a bit further back. I think that was fine. I just feel, I guess for me, I think maybe like he had built so many lurkers, and it does just make me wonder if perhaps the Defilers couldn't come out like just a bit earlier. I mean, if you have that Defiler just like 10 seconds out earlier, because Consume was done, Plague was busy being researched, and we didn't see the Defiler out on the map yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they could have that tech route he went for. But even then, I mean, he still could have had. You kind of have to either go for lots of lurkers to be able to just sort of put down a big field and force the Terran to work hard to get through it, or you can go for what Blobfish did and go for get the Defilers. But if you don't make the Defilers, so I don't know, a little unfortunate timing there, but that's TVZ for you.
Yeah, and it's very stressful, and the build to really get those Defilers at the timing that you need them. There's so many things you have to do in order correctly, one after the other, and it's so stressful because Terran can just kill you so fast. At almost any stage of the game, really. So our next game.
Played by Intact.
Sorry?
I just said well played by Intact there. Both
Yes.
players, really.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of good play on both sides. So for our next game, it's gonna be Intact versus a Skier. So this is gonna be a TVT, and I think this should be very interesting. They both look pretty strong in each of their games so far.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see. I think Eskia likes to go for his mech play, and I would imagine all of the matchups. So he may be a little more comfortable using mech play, but let's see.
Yeah, well, this is TVT, so it is, well, in the end, all about the tanks.
It's a good bit of it is about not to take away from what you said about tanks, but
yeah?
a lot of it too is about just your understanding of where to be on the map.
Yeah.
At any given time.
Yeah.
Generally, it revolves around the use of your tanks, and then the supporting units.
Yep.
It's very easy to throw in this matchup as well. You may have double the tanks, but if you drop them in the wrong location or just aren't positioned correctly, you can still lose.
Yep.
It's definitely not. It's probably the least snowballing, I think, of the mirror matchups. I think in Protoss versus Protoss and Zerg versus Zerg.
Oh yes.
He who has more units wins many times, especially in Zerg. But Terran versus Terran, I mean, you can squeeze a lot out of a little if you've got the right tech switch or a really good positioning.
So in the top left, in the pink, we have Eskia Prime, and the bottom left we have Intact.
So not too familiar with the opening builds of in TVT, but I would imagine you'd probably get your barracks on 9.
Yeah, well, generally 9 or 8. Sometimes often you'll see them make the barracks a bit forward because you just make 1 or 2 Marines and then go scout with your barracks. That's pretty common. Gas will definitely be taken quite fast. We see neither player going for an 8 racks, which is actually kind of standard in TVT. Just because often you just want to put the barracks out far, like forward anyway to scout with, and you have the chance to just like catch an opponent that tries to go like with 14 command center or something like that. And
so we're seeing a scout coming out a little faster from Intact. So
yeah, first scout. And so he's going to see exactly what's up. Looks like the refineries are pretty much the exact same time.
Skia is not going to first scout him, so definitely going to be an information advantage for Intact here.
I never know how the other races decide which direction they decide to scout, because as a Zerg myself, your overlord pretty much always goes to the closest natural, and your drone goes the other way. It is mysticism.
Yeah, I think clockwise tends to be the way.
Yeah.
From when I've watched games, but sometimes they cross, sometimes they counter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, both going for clockwise and not favoring Intact here. So.
So you should definitely know by now where his SCV, where Intact's SCV is going, where he is. Although looks like he's dodging around to make it look like he's not going that way. But
interesting.
Deciding to chase him down.
That, each building is slightly faster for Eskia. I'm sorry, for Intact. So, but their builds are still mirroring each other. It shouldn't really make a big difference here. He does finally get the scout off in Intact's base. It's turning out to actually be a good choice to have his SCV follow the other one.
Yeah.
Right to his base.
Yeah, so, he did good. Yeah, so he does have the scout off, and then so we see that Intact is making 1 vulture and then a command center, and Skier has not yet put down. So he's gonna put his command center down on location. So that's gonna that's going to be a bit of an advantage for him there, not having to float over and definitely getting to produce SCVs faster.
Yeah, his CC is later though, so I think it'll be about even. Because Intact is already half done, so he's already got about 600 HP lead.
Okay, so yeah. No,
we'll
I think Intact's one should be down first in that case.
Good control micro coming out from Iskia though, getting a lot of free shots on Intact. He's gonna kill it, I think. He has a speed upgrade. Does he have speed upgrade?
No,
that's not speed upgrade.
No.
Just good micro coming out from him though, getting an early vulture lead. Gives you a lot of map control.
Definitely nice keeping on top of that, yeah.
Intact is responding with a second factory, almost complete here. So he's going to have a macro advantage over Iskia. I'm not sure if Iskia's...
Well, Iskia's putting down 2.
Factories.
Yeah, he's putting down 2 factories. But the thing that I'm worried about for Iskia is that he doesn't have any machine shop down yet. So...
Now adding it, yeah.
So Vulture and tank upgrades are going to be quite delayed for him. And we do see Intact getting mines first. So this is going to be able to lock Iskia in his base for a while. And if you can lock him in there long enough and get some tanks up onto this third base high ground, that's going to be a really commanding position. Just to break while he can go and start taking expansions around the rest of the map.
Yeah, I feel like in all the matchups, TVT is where mines are the most oppressive in the early game because you don't really want to you don't really want to get an academy. You don't really want to build a science vessel. So
yeah,
if you get a contain of mines down, that can be very frustrating, I think, for the other Terran to deal with. Now, they do have tanks, and tanks are probably some of the best and Goliath too, for that matter, are probably some of the best mine snipers in the game. But still, that if you just miss micro a little bit, they can really punish you.
Yeah. We do see an armory coming down for Iskia as well, so he'll probably be getting his upgrades up soon. And then we see armory almost done for Intact as well, and his academy is down. So he's gonna probably get his scanners up after this current round of SCVs, and
we keep
so he'll
seeing,
be able to scan it out. And this is what I'm talking about. Here come. Oh no, that's Iskia's mines. Okay, so he managed to chase these guys away, and Intact just nicely getting a little bit more forward position with his mines. Gonna send the vultures out. Didn't leave any. Planted all of them here.
And Intact we see continuing to get a slightly faster tech, slightly faster on his buildings than Iskia, but not taking as good of a trade. We saw earlier he lost that vulture for free, but then even in this engage we just saw I didn't catch how many vultures he lost, but he's down to 4 against Iskia's 7 vultures. So bit of a lead here.
So let's see how we're doing for tanks, because the tanks production has started. And we see 4 for Intact down at the bottom here, and 1 for Iskia. So,
but they will have siege upgrade around the same time. So I mean, as long as Iskia continues to make them continuously, I think he will be okay. If he can get a good position down.
Yeah, he's
getting
getting also Intact is only on 3 factories at the moment, so he does have extra tanks right now, but it does look like Iskia is going to catch up with that in a little bit here. Because he's up to 5 factories, which is pretty good, pretty kind of where you want to be on 2 bases, if I'm not mistaken. And you can, you can definitely support
speed upgrade too.
Yeah, so he's got the vulture speed upgrade. I don't know if you don't want to go there. You don't want to wait. That is. Oh wow. Okay. That was so close to those mines, and they're actually still right in front of him. Yeah. So this is where you really do want scans.
Now we can see
if Intact moves forward, he's gonna go right into the mines. Oh no. Okay, he is on A move. So fortunately, not enough mines there to get through the tank shots. Some couple of vultures being picked off here, and one tank siege is up. Looks like he's gonna push up slowly into this position, but this is gonna be really difficult on the high ground. Oh, and we see 2 tanks going down almost immediately for Intact. Oh, the nice
that was
mine.
Unfortunate. Lost 2.
Yeah, and in the end, just the superior tank count wins the day over the high ground and a bit of mine damage as well. That mine being dragged into next to those Goliaths was quite unfortunate.
We have a starport for Skia, so we have a starport for Skia and nothing to show yet on and Intact instead going for the 3rd CC. So we'll see. I mean, Wraiths can help turn the. We see he's starting a dropship actually, but getting that air control will definitely give him a little bit more play opportunities here.
Yeah, we see a single Goliath out for Askia, but none yet for. It's just pure tank production. It is, tanks and vultures. And here's some vultures trying really hard to retake this high ground. He might. Ooh, that was some 2 tanks going down for a mine and a tank shot there. And
for all its excellent trades in the early game, Askia is losing a lot to friendly mines. Yeah, unfortunately.
Intact is getting his units out into good positions really well. Yeah, even putting down an engineering bay on. Just to block any potential future expansion here, and now this is where it's gonna, I think, be really difficult for Askia, because Intact has this high ground. He's got some mines up. Like, he needs a sizable force to deal with that. He has dropships and Goliaths, so he could try dropping straight on top of the tanks with some, but doesn't look like he has quite enough to make that kind of move just yet. And this would be prime opportunity to take a 3rd base for Intact, and that's exactly what he's doing. Here we see that his command center is floating over. His factory count is now up to 6, which is more than what Askia has. So
Intact throwing down a Terran missile, a missile turret here. So he's here to stay, and he's not going to get fooled by any cloaked wraiths.
Yeah.
Surprises.
And so yeah, I think at some point it might be a good idea to sort of like only reinforce this contain so much. It is possible if you can, like, it is possible. Seen it in games I've watched where the 1 Terran player will have this awesome contain and dropships fly by to the other side of the map, and then they have to basically unsiege like 20 tanks and move all the way back to the other side of the map to defend the drop. But
2 dropships, 2 tank with 3 tanks and 2 Goliaths. So this is a heavy commitment by Askia, but if he actually succeeds in this,
yeah, we see another tank going up.
He's waiting for a 3rd drop. He is bringing a lot of tanks.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. However, there's this turret has just finished, and he's gonna see exactly what's going down here. The dropship will survive. No.
Oh, he's choosing to upload here. I think this is a bad move. You've shown your hand. The element of surprise is gone, but we'll see. He might still be able to get some damage done.
Yeah. Well, even now, he waited a little bit there before he moved out, so he doesn't know exactly where he went, except for the fact that he flew over Intact's mines. Yeah, so he might be looking for where the 3rd base is, suspecting it's going to be either down here or in the 6 o'clock. He's pretty sure that it's in the 6 o'clock position. He's heading down there, and he should be able to clear this out. Although there are a couple tanks and SCVs coming down, but he's going to get right in the back onto the minerals, where it's really difficult. But the vultures there, nice pickup, very nice pickup. Only loses a single tank to all those vultures, and now he's just gonna fly away and head straight into the main. There is a single turret here, so with a weakened. Oh no, he double backs, and he's gonna try and take out this third base, and just get some more value.
I don't like.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, SCVs can actually fight siege tanks that are not spread. And dropships of Intact's own is now coming through. And we have 3 Goliaths and probably a tank.
Yeah, all said and done, I think this actually just puts him further ahead. He doesn't take any damage. You see.
Yeah. Given his position with the container, I don't. Yeah, that was not enough to really justify being contained like this. Because this is.
I think if you're Eskia from at this point, you don't want to bleed. That was 5 tanks he lost. I don't think you bleed those more. I think you just use your dropships again to try it again, but this time with a vulture. Maybe go for the main or the net. He could get into the main.
Yeah, this is a lot of tanks, but there's just a lot of vultures for Eskia, but there's just so many tanks behind this high ground.
I mean, he's going.
And he has to get out. He's trying to get out, but there's just way too many tanks here. And he pretty much doesn't need to. Okay, he's gonna unsiege, and that's GG. Yeah, so we can see Intact was about to just go for the killing blow there, moving into Eskia's main, and Eskia recognizing that after losing the last of his army, that 14 tanks is it's about 10 tanks. It's gonna do quite a bit of damage there.
A little bit of I mean, it was a good contain here by Intact, and considering how slow his response was to the drop, I'm a little disappointed to see it didn't do more than it did. But again, once I saw a little bit of odd micro coming out. I shouldn't say odd micro. It's just difficult to micro, and we saw the result of that. Eskia lost a lot of his initial army to either friendly mines or Intact's mines. In that early engagement, he just ceded map control, and from there on, it just sort of compounded. So, not able to claw his way back into that one, but good game nonetheless.
Yeah, that was a good game.
So we're up to a good number of games watched now. We have any left for this group?
Yeah, we've got a few left. I'll do a count now. So we have 2 more games left: Intact and Sky Cycle, and Intact and X17. And up next will be Intact versus Sky Cycle.
Only 2 games from X17 though, so I'm wondering if he left the league.
Yeah, or maybe he just hopefully he hasn't left the league. He could definitely play it in tier 3 if he's not very confident.
I feel like he actually didn't do that badly. He just I think maybe he was just a little bit nervous or something, but he wasn't at all dead. I mean, so I'd like to see some more games from him.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go.
So Sky Cycle is our aggressive Zerg player.
Yeah.
So it's I'm forgetting who his opponent is here.
Intact, I believe.
Intact. Okay. Intact's showing some very solid play. Like, there's no gimmicks to what he's doing. He just kind of goes for his tech and walks across the map and kills his opponent. In both games we've watched him, he didn't really go for any sneaky moves, no huge outplays, nothing like that. He just kind of
solid
does
build
his thing
and macro. So in the
top
right,
both Goliath and with mech. So either way he goes in this game, I think we could see some rather difficult to stop.
So in the top right, in yellow, we have Sky Cycle, and in the bottom right, we have Intact as the red Terran. So we do see Sky Cycle's overlord going the wrong way, as happens in these positions. do always want to, and it looks, oh, this is going to be a 9 pool again from Sky Cycle, so definitely going to try and put the pressure on early. And
yeah, I was just watching that there to see if he would for the OV or the pool. So
yeah, I saw his minerals climbing as well.
His comfortable build.
And with the gas as well.
But yeah, so he's going to go for a speedling.
Yeah.
Play of some kind. Again, on a map like this with the, it's not really truly a narrow ramp, but it can be easily punished just with a few SCVs on the ramp. And Intact is going to first scout this, so it could be bad for our Zerg player.
Yeah, we'll see if he can adapt and uses his lings to just annoy Intact as much as possible. And
we saw in the game
natural
that ramp means nothing in many games.
I do get the feeling that Intact might be on top of this. So we do see the barracks coming down. He's waiting in the natural for, he sees it is the 9 pull speed, I presume. Would have seen that by now. Is waiting for that drone to come down. Yeah, so he's gonna hide his SCV from the lings coming out, and he's just gonna hang around here and try and stop the natural expansion coming down.
He's also added an 8 link, so I think he's
okay, we see the bunker's down, there's SCVs.
But when link speed finishes, this is actually good for Sky Cycle in many ways. The Marines are and the SCVs are not. And the SCVs are blocking the ramp, but if he just rallies across a few more links, like currently, yeah, that's what he's doing. He's going to just go all in on these links. I think he can get great.
This is going to be extremely all in. So yeah, and Intact's going to be aware of this, and it appears that he is, because he sees there's no attempt at a natural expansion, and he can just sees another pair of links going out. But
going for a lair from Skysicle, so he's planning to follow this up. I mean, I like to see that, considering he never pulled his drones off gas. Otherwise, that would have been a huge economic.
And here comes the attack. He's going to try and run
he's
through.
Trying to run by. Oh, this is rough.
And
yeah.
So and
the main, so he can still.
That's rough.
Okay.
So it doesn't. He's got some lings in the main, but I think, considering the huge investment into all those links so far, this is going to be very tough to come back from. And yeah, that he knows that was all in, and GG.
That's very difficult to pull that off. I mean, you can try to get
extremely difficult. Yeah.
And focus you can try to get in and focus the bunker down, body block the SCVs from. I mean, if you have enough lings with a surround, you can body block the SCVs off of repairing the bunker.
Yeah.
But not able to get that done. He chose to go for a run by, and the SCVs blocked him. So, I mean, there wasn't a high Marine count there, so I think he could have just killed the bunker, and that would have.
I think if he started to surround the bunker there, there's more than enough SCVs to just start like repairing, and what it also does is it actually just stops the Zerglings from getting onto the bunker, getting a full surround on the bunker in the first place.
Yeah, it can be difficult.
And then you have to choose between, do you fight the SCVs, do you fight the Marines? Yeah.
And then you have to individually control your Zerglings. You can still break it, but you have to control really on top of your Zergling control to focus the SCVs
you need
down.
I'm pretty sure you need at least 10 lings to break a bunker with 1 Marine and no SCV repairing. So to get through the bunker with like 5-6 SCVs and with like 2 Marines inside, yeah, you really need a
sure you can break a bunker with 1 SCV. You could probably break it with just 5 lings, maybe 6. I don't know for sure. I think maybe it's 10 lings to lose no more than 1 or 2 lings. I don't know. I definitely don't know the math on that. You have to ask Jadong, since he likes to do those kinds of strats a lot. But yeah, we see again the weakness of 9 pool. if you're not able to get something done, you're in a very difficult position.
Yeah.
I think one thing you can go for, what he may have been able to go for in that game, was to just pull his drones off the gas if he wanted to go less all in, and just get down that hatchery in the natural. And that way he knows even if that fails, he has a natural that's almost complete. He can just put a sunk in there and then play from behind, but he's not going to be in this just all in position.
Yeah. Cool, so this is going to be our last game. This will be, I believe it's Intact and X17 for this one. So let's get into it. So in the top right we have Intact in red as Terran, and in the bottom left we have X17 in the magenta Protoss. And this, yeah, looks like it'll be our only PvT today.
I'm wondering if X17 is going to go for a 2-gate again in main. I think it would be very strong. Considering, I don't know what X17's macro looks like, but Intact has looked very strong.
Yeah.
So I think going for a 2-gate play just to try to just bludgeon your way into the Terran main and try to force him to, just lose a lot of Marines can definitely get him an early advantage. So we'll see what he goes for, though.
Yeah, so far it looks like he's pretty much playing standard, so we'll most likely see that again. Get his factory up, get his expansion up after that, put a tank out and defend. But I guess we'll have. But I mean, I think it is quite a bit on Terran to respond to what Protoss is doing as well. And we do see the first gateway going down, and first scout off. So he will be able to see what's up here. Definitely like not some kind of all-in 8 racks or it's good when you see the buildings are where they're supposed to be and not in the middle of the map. Are you there, Bug?
I am.
Oh, sorry.
I was watching. I was somewhat mesmerized by the probe and SCV dance in the main.
Okay.
So I saw he was trying to go for a kill on the SCV that was building the barracks, but then backed off when the other SCV came.
Yeah.
I think
very
there was
hard to get those.
He could have hit the SCV a couple more times and forced a transfer, or even gotten the kill. But
yeah,
it's okay. No, there's no need to go for that. Instead, it looks like X17 is going for adapting and responding with a Dragoon plan.
Yeah, deciding
but this is Protoss. You never know. There are many things he could be going for.
We'll have to see what comes after the call, and then will he be? So to expect to see a Dragoon coming out here pretty soon.
He hasn't started it yet, though, so I'm wondering, is he going to go for some sort of Tier 3 tech? Perhaps a RoboBay? Who knows? Dragoon range, okay.
So he's getting Dragoon range first, and there's the Dragoon. Meanwhile, I see SCVs coming down to come scout. I don't know about TVP scouting patterns. It does look really late. I guess you kind of know what
usually can't stop you from getting in and having a look, and I think around this time is usually when you he'll probably have zealots, but around this time is when you really see more what his tech pattern is. So and it makes sense to me. I'm not expert on it either, but I think it makes sense to go for a scout.
So here we see the Dragoon Dragoons chasing down the SCV. See one idle probe sitting in the bottom there. Looks like he's noticed that now. It's gonna go. It's busy chasing after the SCV. And we see, oh, it looks like a hidden nexus. So this is gonna be a fake out from X-17, gonna try and sneak up that nexus and build up an unexpectedly large army.
Yeah, I'm wondering what his plan is though, because he hasn't taken his natural, so this isn't a truly economic cheese, so to speak. I mean, it is, but it's not going to put him ahead economically. He's probably going to bank on the fact this looks like a one base play, and he's going to maybe try to force. Yeah, but he's not going to be ahead economically. So we'll see how he's going for the pylon wall at the ramp, so this is good. He will block any sort of vulture run by, but let's see. Dragoon range, he's still sitting in his base, so I'm hoping to see these Dragoons move out and deny that or delay that natural.
Yeah, or at the very least move out of his natural, just so that so that Intact doesn't like just immediately see that he hasn't taken his natural. Although it's so, you know, just try and create as much of a mind game as you possibly can in this kind of situation. Deception and subterfuge. So we do see the command center for Intact is done. He'll be floating it down soon. He's probably waiting to see, like, for these Dragoons that are definitely not coming just yet. And we see a huge probe transfer going up into bottom left. Intact putting some turrets around the map just to, probably suspecting like a one base play, as we mentioned earlier, and just to see if like maybe there's a shuttle coming out from that side.
And the full lack of scouting or any pressure from X-17 is, I think, setting him back. I think he could. I mean, I'm not an expert on this matchup, but I feel like having his natural down here, if he gets a good sense of what the Terran has, could be strong. But he's up to 3 tanks now on Intact, but only off of 1 factory. So
yeah, so we do see observers coming out, so he will be able to get a scout off pretty soon. There's a Marine there, wouldn't be able to stop it. But so yeah, we see the first observers coming out, and he's probably going to move out soon. Forge coming down, definitely for some upgrades and maybe to put a cannon behind. Where was that SCV killed?
Down at the bottom left.
So now he's scouted the hidden base, and I think this might prompt him to move out, or to really, or maybe just sort of like treat it. Well, you can't just let this go forever, because Protoss would eventually have 4 bases up, you know, without being punished for it at all, if things just continued like this. So I guess what Intact might be considering here is just like take a really fast third, or faster than usual. But I guess he just doesn't know how big X-17's army might be.
He's throwing down a cannon in X-17's base, so I think he's just a little concerned about maybe a vulture drop or a cloaked wraith. I don't even think you would ever get a cloaked wraith against Protoss, would you? But
no.
Vulture drops are definitely a thing, so I like the choice to get the cannon there, having not seen what X-17's going for exactly.
Yeah, having at least 1 cannon in this matchup, I would assume, is always a good idea when speed vultures can be such a huge threat and just like demolish probes in no time at all.
X-17 not missing his upgrades here. I mean, we see he's got +1 on the way, no upgrades to be seen for Intact, and he's got Zealot speed also on the way. So
okay, that's good.
He's definitely staying on top of. I mean, he's starting to build up a mineral. I think so. Maybe he should either throw down a Nexus or some extra gateways. But
yeah, I definitely think he could do. Yeah, I definitely think he could do with like 2 or 3 more gateways at least here. He is on 2 bases. He's got his probe production has been really great so far. So
yeah, 48 probes.
Yeah, that is great.
He's,
So,
but he needs, throw down.
Yeah, he needs bases to put all those extra probes on.
But he also needs an army. Like Intact is just off of his one machine shop factory. He's built up 6 tanks, so it's still it's Intact has the stronger army.
Yes, he definitely has it so far. And here we see a ton of vultures coming out. I'm gonna drop a mine down, just back off from the dragoons. Oh, gets the surround on the dragoons, and they're gonna start placing mines. All in the dragoons. Ooh.
So far, not a terrible trade for X15 though. He dodged most of those mines. He's already killed, I believe.
Oh, but those ones. Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage. Vultures could pick those off, but he decides to just hang back. He's got the mines up on the ramp, on that side of the ramp, so he doesn't need to worry about those dragoons. There are quite a few back more.
So
yeah, he's got to get his observer up here to start clearing the mines out.
Yeah, you don't want you want to get those mines cleared out before these tanks pull up and just siege your.
And that looks like exactly what they're gonna do right now.
And we still do not have extra gates for X17, so every unit is very precious here. You cannot afford to be losing.
These tanks gonna now probably siege up on the high ground.
Huge thing for X17, 2.1k minerals. I mean.
Yeah, and he's gonna GG after that. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I think what we probably have here is just quite a difference in just like overall experience playing the game. It really does like take a long time to even just get like a general flow of just playing StarCraft. So yeah, I think maybe X17 a bit like mismatched in this group, which is a bit unfortunate. But this is why we have the preseason, so that if he is continuing to play in the main matches, then we can match him up to the appropriate skill level.
Yeah, he's not playing badly. I mean, we saw he got I think he made a great strategic play, go for that hidden expansion. It's not unusual, but he got a economic lead. Despite I said he wasn't, but he Intact was not making SCVs at the same rate, so he got the eco advantage, but then he didn't have the ability to make an army off of it. So see him ending the game with almost 20 zealots worth of minerals sitting in the bank. So I mean, he even had a leg upgrade, so he holds that push easily. He even had the upgrade advantage. So I think just with a little bit of tweaking, that he actually takes a big lead that game where it ended. But still a good game. I enjoyed it. So hope to see some more from X17 in the future.
Yeah, agreed. And to the rest of our players as well. Yeah, we definitely have to see some more of you guys. Yeah, and thank you very much for joining me, Bug. That was very fun casting with you. And thanks to everyone that stuck around. Cool. That's gonna be it for today. See you guys next time. Cheers.